Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ikea. If you're new here, thank you so much for joining. And if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. So today's video is a luxury fragrance haul. I've been going a little ham lately and I have been purchasing quite a few fragrances probably over the last couple of months. Between May and July, I have been purchasing fragrances like crazy. So today I just wanted to share some of my most recent fragrance purchases, let y'all know what I think about each of them, and let you know if I think they are worth the splurge. So if that's something that you're interested in, then keep on watching. So before we get started, I want to remind you to be sure to turn on your notification bell so that you do not miss out on a single post. Also, be sure to comment and like this video if you enjoy it. It really does help me out. And you can be sure to follow me on social media. My handle will be linked down below in the description box in case you want to check me out on Instagram and on Twitter. So I'm gonna stop rambling and go ahead and get started. All right, y'all. So I have been going ham, shopping like crazy, getting fragrances. There have just been so many new releases over the past few months. I've also received a few fragrances that were recently launched, and I'm just so excited to share them all with you all. So the first fragrance that I want to share with you is this one from Louboutin, Christian Louboutin. This is called Louis Crown. And I purchased this one, I want to say in May, maybe, but I don't know if you've seen any of my other videos. I originally purchased Louis Rouge, and I'm obsessed with that fragrance. It is such a stunning fragrance, but when I ended up purchasing that one, I was kind of deciding between Louis Rouge and Louis Crown, and I knew I wanted to go back and get Louis Crown, so I finally splurged and I ended up getting Louis Crown, and y'all, I love it. But before we get into the details of the fragrance, I do just want to show you the packaging because it is stunning, okay? It is absolutely beautiful. So here's what the bottle looks like. It is really heavy, and I love the fact that it has that crown detail at the top. So, so beautiful. This is definitely an over-the-top bottle, probably one of the fanciest bottles that I own, but it's just so beautiful. So I really wanted to get Louis Crown because I was reading the notes and they sounded like something that I would really enjoy. So in this fragrance, there's cedar, patchouli, and tonka bean. This is more of a woody fragrance, but it has like a little bit of sweetness to it that I really do enjoy. It is so good. So if you like woody fragrances, this one is one that I would definitely suggest trying out. Now, this is a heavy hitter, and I'm so happy that it's a heavy hitter because in comparison to Louis Crown, this one, it projects more and it also lasts a little bit longer. Louis Crown is just a little bit more subtle. The projection isn't that big and it doesn't reach that far, but I really do like this fragrance. This one is just, when you walk in the room, it commands attention. Again, it's woody, but it's a little sweet, and you can kind of get that sweetness from that tonka bean, but you can definitely smell all three of the notes in here, that patchouli, the cedar, and the tonka bean, and it smells really good. I also think that this one is a little powdery when it dries down, but it's not overly powdery. You just get like a subtle hint of powder, and it just smells really, really good. I am a huge fan of this fragrance. I'll probably wear this one at nighttime, and I could see myself wearing this in the summer, but I would probably reach for this one a little bit more in the winter. This is a heavy hitter, and just with the warmth of this fragrance, it just seems like it'll work out really well in the cooler months. But I do really enjoy this fragrance, and I'm so happy that I have it in my collection. Now, I do want to get one more fragrance from this Louboutin collection, and I think it's going to be Louis Dew, but I'm not exactly sure just yet. But I am very, very happy with the two fragrances that I do currently have in my collection from Christian Louboutin. So again, this one is Louis Crown from Christian Louboutin. Okay, so the next fragrance that I want to share with you all that I purchased over the last few months is Oud Isfahan from Christian Dior. Now, this is from the Maison Dior. I believe it's their private collection. And y'all, I'm obsessed with this fragrance. Mm, 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 mm. So if you want to smell like a rich auntie, you want to give off rich vibes, this is definitely the fragrance for you. When I smell this fragrance, I just imagine that this is what Dubai smells like. Just very rich and luxurious. This fragrance is so sexy. It is a heavy, heavy hitter. Honestly, I think this is the longest lasting fragrance that I have in my collection. I also think that this one is the strongest fragrance that I have in my collection. Probably the one that projects the most. It's just beast mode and it is so good. Now, if you like woody fragrances, this one is also woody. This one, the main note in here is oud. There's also cedarwood in here. There's also patchouli in here, and there's a little bit of rose, and you can definitely smell the rose. So it's a woodiness, but kind of have a little hint of floral to it. And I absolutely love it. It's such a beautiful fragrance. I feel like this is for a boss. I could see a woman who really commands attention. She takes charge and she knows what she wants. I could see her wearing Oud Isfahan. This one is not for the faint of heart. This is not for someone that is meek or shy. This is definitely for someone who likes to stand out. They like to command attention, and you know they have walked in the room without even seeing them, without even hearing them. That is what this fragrance does. It states, I am here, I am in the room, and I have arrived. Y'all, this fragrance is so, so good. I just love the woodiness of the fragrance, but I like that it has that balance with the rose, so it's still kind of feminine, and it's not, I wouldn't necessarily say that this one is a unisex fragrance. It does lean more feminine, but it is just so, so good. So if you love oud, or you're trying to get introduced to oud, I would definitely recommend Oud Isfahan from Christian Dior. Alrighty, so the next fragrances that I'm going to share with you all, they're all new launches, and I'm excited to share all of them with you all. Some of them I actually have reviews on already, and some of them I don't, so I'll probably go a little bit in depth and give you more details on those fragrances. But the first one that I want to share is from Cyage, and this one is called Utopia Vanilla Cocoa 21. So this fragrance recently launched from Cyage, and if you're not familiar with the Cyage brand, they are owned by Huda and Mona Kattan. They are very popular, and I'm really happy that they're becoming even more popular because they're one of my favorite fragrance houses. I absolutely love Cyage. But they recently launched this fragrance called Utopia Vanilla Cocoa, and this is supposed to take you to a tropical place, remind you of a tropical vacation, and that's exactly what this fragrance does. So in here there is coconut milk, there's a little bit of jasmine, gardenia, a little bit of pear, lemon. There's also vanilla in here, of course, and this fragrance smells so, so good. This, again, just reminds me of a tropical vacation. I'm actually going on vacation soon, and this is the first fragrance that's going to be in my bag. This one isn't overpowering. It's not overly sweet either, but that coconut definitely stands out in this fragrance, and it's coconut milk, so it's a little creamy. It's not in your face kind of coconut. It blends very, very nicely with the lemon and the pear, and also with the floral notes and that vanilla. The vanilla does bring out a little bit of sweetness to this fragrance, but y'all, I am so in love with this. It's different from any of the other fragrances that Cyage has come out with, and I just absolutely love it. You can definitely wear this during the daytime. You can wear this at nighttime as well, but again, when I smell this, it just makes me want to be on the beach, and I'm so in love with it. I actually do have a full in-depth review on this fragrance, and I will link it somewhere for you all so you can check it out and you can get my full thoughts on this fragrance. But I am just so happy that they came out with this, and I love it so much. So again, this one is Cyage's Utopia Vanilla Cocoa 21, and it is a vibe, y'all. So this next fragrance is a newer fragrance from the house of Cyage, and y'all already know how I feel about the house of Cyage, but this one is called Whispers of Truth Noir, and this is a newer fragrance that has been introduced to their Whispers in the Garden collection. I actually do have a full review on this video as well, so I will link it up at the top for you as well if you are interested in checking it out. But y'all, this fragrance is so sexy, okay? When I think about passion, when I think about just enticing and temptation, all of those beautiful things, I think about this fragrance. It's got this smokiness to it and this woodiness that is really, really good. I actually think that this could definitely pass as a unisex fragrance. But y'all, this is a very, very sexy fragrance. Definitely beast mode. This is for nighttime for sure. And I think you can wear this any time of year, but definitely a nighttime fragrance. So this one has suede. There's a little bit of leather in here. There's rose in this fragrance. There's also a little bit of caramel, so it makes it a little sweet. And I am just a huge fan of this fragrance. I love it so, so much. The packaging is phenomenal. I don't know if you can see that. I'll do a little close-up of it. The packaging is phenomenal. It aligns perfectly with all of the other House of Cyage packaging. I mean, definitely know when you are purchasing something from the House of Cyage, it is luxury and it is such a great experience. And this is no different with this new fragrance, Whispers of Truth Noir. I love it so, so much, y'all. And I am just so happy that they came out with this one. It is phenomenal. I just got to sniff it again. Yes, if you like that spice and woodiness, I feel like most of the fragrances that I've recently purchased are very spicy and woody, but if you like that, definitely check this one out because it is so, so good. I could definitely see somebody wearing this with a black dress, like a little black dress, or something very, very sexy, maybe with a red lip. That's the kind of vibe that I get when I smell this fragrance. But it's so good. So shout out to the House of Cyage for coming out with this fragrance because I'm a huge, huge fan. Again, this one is Whispers of Truth Noir from the House of Cyage. And speaking of the House of Cyage, I want to share the most recent launch with you all from the House of Cyage. This is their most recent fragrance, and this is called Whispers of Temptation. This is also a new addition to the Whispers in the Garden collection that they have. And y'all, this one is so beautiful. So I'm going to give you a close-up of the packaging because it is a stunner. So to me, this fragrance is as if Whispers of Truth Noir had a little sister. That's what this reminds me of. It's not as powerful and it doesn't have that big of a punch compared to Whispers of Truth Noir, the one that I just recently showed you all. But this one is still a really good fragrance. It's woody. It is a little bit more fruity compared to Whispers of Truth Noir, but this one does have a little spiciness to it that I do enjoy. So in this fragrance, there's plum, cardamom, oud, sandalwood. There's also a little bit of suede in here, which kind of helps to make it a little bit more spicy. And then there's also rose petals in here. And y'all, this fragrance is such a good fragrance. Again, this is a little bit lighter than Whispers of Truth Noir. It doesn't pack a huge heavy punch, and I will be honest, this one is a fragrance that is a little different. I would say that this one is for a more mature palate for someone who really does like a suede note, because that does stand out to me pretty heavily in this note. The suede and the plum stand out heavily in this fragrance. But if you like a more mature fragrance and you like something that is a little spicy and a little fruity and a tad bit sweet but more woody, I do think that this is a great fragrance. Now, I don't know if I would recommend this one as a blind buy just because it is very unique. And again, those woody notes like the oud in here, they are pretty heavy. The suede is pretty heavy as well. But again, if you like something that's a little bit more mature, it's still sexy, but it's more of a woody, fruity, spicy fragrance, then I would recommend this to you. But I just don't think that this is necessarily blind buy worthy. But it is such a great fragrance, and I love that they introduced this one right after Whispers of Truth Noir, because this one to me is like a little bit more toned down. And like I said, this is like the little sister to me of Whispers of Truth Noir. But this one is Whispers of Temptation, and it is such a great fragrance. Again, I just want to congratulate the House of Cyage on their most recent launches. They came out with 2 launches this year, which is so great, and they seem to be a really good hit. And I really do enjoy both of the fragrances. So congratulations to the House of Cyage. And I just want to thank you all again for allowing me to participate in your launches. So again, this one is Whispers of Temptation from the House of Cyage. All right, y'all. So I feel like I saved the best fragrance for last. This fragrance that I want to share with y'all, I love so, so much. So one thing to know about me is that I am obsessed with gourmand fragrances, okay? I am a gourmand lover. I like to smell like a snack, and I like to smell like a snack all the time, okay? That's just me. So when BDK launched their most recent fragrance, I knew I had to get my hands on it. I knew I had to try it. I had to smell it. I had to do all the things because I'm a huge fan of BDK fragrances, but I knew that this one was going to be a gourmand, and I just wanted to experience this new fragrance. So I have here with me Velvet Tonka from BDK Fragrances, and y'all, I am in love. Ooh, I am so, so in love with this fragrance. First of all, I really do love the packaging of this. It's a little bit different compared to their other fragrances. Most of the time you'll see that they have a gold top on some of their fragrances, but it's typically matte. This one is a little bit more like metal, I would say. But the packaging definitely aligns with all of the other BDK fragrances. The bottle itself is the same and the label is the same. But y'all, the juice inside this fragrance is so, so good. So I've seen a ton of reviews on this fragrance, and it's kind of been a hit or miss, but for me, I really, truly enjoy this. This is a gourmand lover's dream. If you love gourmand fragrances, I definitely think that you would enjoy this. It just smells delicious, okay? It smells delicious. So in Velvet Tonka, you'll find orange blossom. There's also almond in here, a little bit of bourbon, vanilla. There's tobacco. There's also a little bit of tonka bean in here as well. And those are all the notes that I absolutely love, and I feel like they make a great gourmand. Is this my favorite gourmand or the best gourmand of all? I don't know, but I really, really do like this gourmand. It is just so good. It kind of reminds me of Fève Delicieuses from Maison Christian Dior. If you smell that fragrance, then you know that it's sweet. It's a little bit of powdery, but it also has like this little cherry note to it that's really, really good. That's what I get when I smell this fragrance as well. To me, this one isn't as powdery as Fève Delicieuses, and it's still a little bit more sweeter than Fève Delicieuses, but I still enjoy this fragrance, y'all. Ooh, I love it so much. Now, the opening of this fragrance, I will be honest, I wasn't a huge fan of the opening when I first purchased this. I was like, okay, it's just all right. But that dry down, y'all, the dry down is everything. The sweetness comes out, that almond mixed with that vanilla, mixed with the orange blossom, and the little tiny bit of tobacco. It is just delicious. That's what I can say about this. It's delicious. That dry down is really what got me, because yeah, it's just so good. It is so, so good. Like when I smell this, it makes my mouth water. Like I want a nice, expensive dessert is what I want. I really truly think that BDK did a great job on this fragrance. They knocked it out of the park with this fragrance, and I'm just really so amazed by BDK fragrances. I feel like they just continue to improve. They continue to set the bar for great fragrance houses, and I'm just a huge fan. But y'all already knew that. Y'all know I love BDK fragrances. But if you are interested in a gourmand, you want something sweet, you want something a little powdery, then this one is one that I would definitely recommend. This one, I don't know if I would recommend it as a blind buy, just because that opening is a little different. I'll be honest, the opening is a little different. However, when the fragrance dries down, I truly think that you will love it. And honestly, I've sprayed this so much that I'm so used to the opening now, it doesn't bother me. However, once that fragrance dries down, it's so delicious. I've also received compliments on this fragrance as well, and I've actually gotten compliments from a few men when I wore this. So if you are kind of trying to attract men or trying to get attention from them, this one is a good compliment getter. But yeah, this one is Velvet Tonka from BDK Fragrances, and it is a vibe. So those were all of the most recent purchases that I have made within the past few months, or fragrances that I have received. So comment down below, y'all, and let me know what is on your fragrance wish list. I would love to know. I'm very nosy and curious, and I'm also always on the hunt to purchase new fragrances. So comment down below. Also, be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. That definitely helps me out. You can also be sure to check me out on social media. You can check me out on Instagram, Twitter, and on TikTok. I'll have that all linked down below for you in the description box. But I thank you all again for watching this video. I hope you have a great one. Stay safe and enjoy. Bye.